What's going on, guys? JSR15 here, and welcome back to another Pokemon episode review. The second episode is now here, and we all saw that Lugia in the trailer for this episode. So, if you want to find out what happened in this episode, want to hear my thoughts and opinions, stick around because we're going through it now. Today's episode is episode 2, Ash and Go. Aboard Lugia, they go. Okay, so starting off today's episode, we can see this amazing picture of all of Ash's badges and trophies. I am extremely happy that they included this. You know, it's been so long since we've seen any of Ash's old Pokemon, let alone the badges and even the trophies. I love how they included the Alola one and the Mask Royale figure. Really liked the way they did that. After that, we then get a callback to the first episode by Ash throwing his alarm clock at the wall and it breaking, being woken up by his mum, and then running to Professor Oak's lab. Feel like we've seen this too many times. After a quick car ride, we head over to Vermilion City to see the brand new Pokemon lab. But more importantly, we get to see a brand new Pokemon, Yamper. Ash being Ash, well, he goes to, be friends with Yamper and give it a hug. Yamper then electrocutes Ash, and Yamper's owner turns up, which is Kaharu, which met in the last episode. And I thought it was really funny, the fact that she just arrived home, she saw Ash being burnt to a crisp on the floor and just walked past him and ignored him. I thought it was quite funny. Moving on into the lab, we get to see another new character, Professor Saguragi. We also get to see his two assistants, which honestly can't remember their names. Moving away from the lab and up on a building, we get to see Go, who is on his phone and he's waiting for something to appear. Or more importantly, waiting for a raid to start. Tell you what, it must be a very special Pokemon because Professor Saguragi got an alert on his computer and it brought it up, and Ash and everyone else that was at the grand opening of the lab just ran out of the lab and went to this meeting point. And I tell you what, when the giant thunderstorm, the massive cloud, came over the city, I tell you what, it was animated very good. At some points I was thinking, is this even Pokemon? It seems like it could be something completely different. It was really well done. Although I wonder how the people in the buildings feel about this giant scary cloud above their house. I mean, above the ferry. After not long of waiting, we get to see the giant cloud open up and Lugia appears out of it. I'll tell you what, 5-star raid battle. I hope it's going to be a high level for them to catch it. The whole segment with Lugia and the other Pokemon and all the attacks were really well animated. And I even love the music in this part. Speaking of seeing all the attacks and all of the Pokemon, we also get to see a brand new Pokemon, Corviknight. And I was pretty surprised that they included this. You know, having Yamper and Corviknight in the same episode. I thought they'd save Corviknight for a later episode. One thing I did really like was when Ash challenged Lugia to the battle, and you could see how powerful Lugia was because it fired that attack. Can't remember which attack it is, but it fired the attack at Pikachu, and, it could have ended up destroying the whole city, but it was a pretty good attack. I mean, the whole segment with Ash and Go jumping on Lugia and riding on it, part of me loves it, but part of me doesn't really like it well. I mean, it was animated really good. It was a great throwback to the second movie with Ash riding on Lugia in that movie. And, it's exciting the fact that Ash and Go have finally managed to meet. But part of me feels that if this part of the episode was cut out, would we have missed it that much? Probably not. After some time riding on Lugia, Ash and Go get dropped off in the middle of nowhere, but somehow they manage to find their way back to the lab. Once they get there, they then share the information they learnt about Lugia with Professor Saguragi. Saguragi then offers them a job to be his researchers, which, of course, both of them say yes, and try to best one another and say that one's going to be better, no, the other one's going to be better. It's a good way to start the rivalry. And luckily, it turns out that there is a spare room at the lab, so Ash and Go can stay there. I mean, it's a good thing for Ash because it would be a really big pain if he had to travel from Pallet Town all the way to Vermilion City every single morning, and even evening to go home. It would be a really big pain. After Professor Oak and Ash's mum had said goodbye, I was really surprised the fact that Ash's mum actually left Mr. Mime with them. I think, to be honest, the first time we saw Mr. Mime, I don't think it's been separated from Ash's mum in, talking 20 years. So I'm very surprised that he was left with Ash and Go and not went with Ash's mum. Now, in order for Ash and Go to be researchers, they both need a Pokemon. I mean, we all know that Ash has Pikachu, but Go, I mean, we've seen in the trailers that he has a brand new Pokemon. Not going to say what it is, but I mean, everyone probably knows. At this present time, Go doesn't actually have a Pokemon, so he gets the choice of 3 starters: Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle. And guess who he goes for? He goes for Mew and says his first Pokemon will be Mew. That is where the episode ended. So there we go, that is another episode done. What did you guys think of today's episode? I thought it was a very interesting episode. Part of me loves it, and part of me, the little bit with Ash and Go, Ren and Lugia, wasn't really a fan of, but it was animated really well, it made sense, so I'm going to let that slide. So what's my rating going to be for today's episode? Well, let's have a little look. The animation, I'm going to give that 2 points, because the water segment with Ash, Go and Lugia, when Lugia fired the big blast at the water and they went into it and it all sparkled, thought that was really well done. The cloud animation was fantastic. And even the way that they did Yampa's fur at certain parts, thought that was really well done. Is it part of the main story? Well, yes, and this is the first time that Ash and Go actually met. They're now staying at Sagaragi's lab instead of at Professor Oak's lab or back in Pallet Town. So yeah, it is part of the main story. 2 more points. The music again was fantastic. The segment when everyone was battling Lugia and Go was running down the hill trying to get there, thought that was really well done. 1 point there. Was it entertaining? Of course it was entertaining. It had a legendary Pokemon in it. It was super entertaining. I found myself glued to the screen at some point, so 2 more points there. The title focus. Let's have a little look at the title. The title is Ash and Go. Aboard Lugia, they go. I mean, perfect title. Ash and Go are in the episode, they go on board Lugia, and they go travelling, so 2 more points there. Did the plot of the episode make sense? I mean, yes and no. It all made sense up to the parts where everyone was trying to battle Lugia, and then all of a sudden Ash and Go jumped on Lugia, and Lugia decided, you know what, I'm not going to battle these two. I'm going to take them on a journey and show them all these different Pokemon and take them far away. Didn't really understand why they did that, but saying that, it did make sense, so I'm going to give it 1 more point there. So adding all them up, it means that this episode is another 10 out of 10 episode, with the recommendation to watch this episode. But there we go, I think that's where I'm going to end this episode off. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that thumbs up button, lets me know that you want to see me continue these, and it lets me know that you're enjoying them as well. Comment down below in the comment section, let me know what your thoughts on the episode were. Were you surprised that we got to see Yampa and Corviknight in the same episode? What do you think of Lugia as well? Finally, subscribe to the channel if you are new. But thank you for watching, I'll see you next week with the introduction of Team Rocket.